This is a follow-up on growing lithops from seeds. We'll show you the results. At the end of the video, we'll show you some very interesting lithops from Japan. We'll look at a few of the problems, including how to stop fungus gnats from getting at your new seedlings.
Now this is mesembs. This is a follow-up on what we were sowing 2 or 3 months ago, and this is the crop that's come up. I'm really impressed with it. It's really even, excellent germination, and obviously really high quality seed. So congratulations to my seed supplier. But many types of mesembs, archaeoderms, bigias, all sorts of things. Ficaria, titanopsis. Now, as you can see, there are a couple of failures here. Dinteranthus, for one, is the only failure. That evidently needs, I found out later, a very large differentiation between nighttime temperature and daytime temperature. And these were growing under lights at first, so probably not quite so good. I thought I'd show you, this is 3 mil gravel that we did, only a very light covering, barely one grain thick, and you're into the soil. So the idea when we were doing this was to sprinkle the seed on top of the gravel, then water it in. And the seed settles between the gravels and they germinate within 10 days, 2 weeks. Most are up. If you come up here a little further, you'll get some, it's a lithop area. Really, again, really even germination. Sometimes they're a little bit late. There's some new ones coming through, some older ones, but on the whole, it's a very even germination. Now, we put these in here. These are, we call them sticky cards, and fungus gnats are a problem with young seedlings in all nurseries. So most seed crops and young plants of juvenile plantings where there's a bit of moisture involved, you'll get fungus gnats, and this stops them breeding. Now these are Plesiopilas here. These are nearly ready to pot up, and 2 weeks ago we potted all these fellows up here in a mix, and this is what they look like in a plug tray. We'll grow them in here for about another year, and ultimately then they go into a pot and then sell. So these mesembs are slower growing. You're really talking a 2 to 3 year crop to get a plant ready for sale. Another mesem collection from another seed supplier, predominantly lithops, but bought in much smaller quantities. This is more a collection. There's probably 50 or 60 species of lithops, but many variations from different hills, localities and things like that. And again, it's a bit of a mixed germination. You can see this one here, still some just germinating now, but some have been up for longer. And you can see it's a bit more up and down this take. It's a bit more complex. This is an amazing collection from a hybridizer and grower of lithops. These are really special ones. What happens is they use these plus. What they do is they'll get a whole selection of seed, they'll grow it, and they'll pick the best 2 or 3 out of it, and they'll breed from that. Then they'll breed from the best 2 or 3 again, and you get improved breedings. And this is the result of probably 30 years of breeding from a Japanese family. Now, look, this is a really good example. This is a Julie, but we call her Hot Lips. And that's just selected breeding. Doesn't occur in the wild. Here's another really fabulous one. Here's another Julie. This shows you how different they can be. We call it red. Beautiful fine lines. I'll show you a couple more actually. This one's really nice. Top red. Look at the richness of that red. Really, really deep red. There's some other lovely red ones too. Look at the lines in this one. There's approximately 100 breedings here of these really select forms coming out. I'll get you another one here. This is actually beautiful. Bromfieldiana, sulphurea. Really lovely markings on it. So, but there is a predominance of greens here because greens in nature for the lithops are harder to find, and they're often derivations from the normal because lithops have bred or evolved over time to match the rocks that they're with in their own sort of territory or country. And green shows up a bit bright amongst the rocks, but when you see them in nature, or they match so beautifully the rocks they're in, they're almost impossible to see or difficult to see. These plants here are about, some would be 2, but most would be 3 years old. This is a purple Otsariana called Sesqui Granat, but nothing like that colour.
Subscribe to the YouTube channel for regular updates on a whole range of succulents and indeed a whole range of garden plants.